Hey everybody, so this is Psychic Hunter David Williams, and so this is the start of the actual weeklies, and then there will also be monthlies. I will get the monthlies out for February, probably in the next week or so. As we all know, we're moving into a really intense time. So we're going to start here today with Aries. I'm going to start right where it is, and the North Node is there, so this is a really good energy to start. So you Aries guys, remember, you have Mars is your leader. And with the North Node there, I've said to a lot of Aries clients, my own here and abroad and wherever else on the phone, please, please, please try to get out of your own head and try not to allow old issues from the past to interfere with your ability to move forward. It's about being able to stay in the now and be very, very clear about your objectives. Remember, those that hugely succeed, unless they have it land on their lap, and that's karma in itself and their own experience, they actually have a game plan. So let's just take a look here. I'm just going to take a look here and see where the story goes for Aries. We're just going to use the Rider deck today. I'm going to use the Rider deck, and then I'm going to look at it again with the Angel Oracles. I don't usually pull a lot of those out because to me they're more like a Kipper card. They're just giving you a heads up. And I usually get people know me read playing cards in person. And I'm pretty precise with playing cards and have my own theory to them. So tarot cards I'm good at too. I mean, this is 34 years in the making, so it's been a very long, definitive destiny. And if you don't know, I'm Psychic Hunter David Williamson from Toronto, Canada. And yes, I say Toronto because I finished my education in Los Angeles. I also say out and about. So here we go. So I'm going to pull out a little story here, the Celtic Cross, just for the sign of Aries. This makes sense. So, really quite interesting energy ahead of you guys. Okay, I'm just going to pull that out. And what I'm going to do here as well, and show you guys the cards, and I will scan over the cards if I can. I'm going to talk to you about them, and as I do, I'll take them out, okay? So, one of the things you've got going on in here right now is everything's shifting. Well, we all know this. We've got Pluto, and if you don't know, I'm going to tell you, but if you watch some of my contemporaries that I watch and I pay attention to, there's some great ones out there. The Wheel of Fortune is the basis of what's going on here. And it's not just about money. It affects money, but it's not always about money. And I find that when, we look at this energy, it means that things are shifting. Now, that doesn't always mean they're shifting in a great way. I think what's happening in here makes complete sense with an individual that has actually been there, done that. And to me, the North Node, after all these years, it was early 2000s that you were going through this same story. You've achieved something. You've achieved, I would say, a mastery on some level that you're sharp as a whip. You know what you're doing. I could name two of my clients I've had for a very long time right now, but I won't because I don't discuss people's readings. That's confidential. And they're both at that level. One of them has their own business, and he is completely precise with what he does. So what I want you to recognize is, yes, you've got the Hangman as the first story. Well, of course, this means a bit in limbo, meaning that things are changing, they have to change. And I'm going to tell you what's really, really fascinating. As we progress through the weekend with Pluto moving, we then hit that full moon in Leo. Well, that's fellow fire, fellow earth, and that's going to be the next sign that I do. And I'm going to tell you really something quite interesting. With this element of the Magician card ahead, you've got two elements in here that are going to cause hesitation, or it's going to take a little bit of time. It means that no matter what, there's a choice ahead, and I believe you're going to make a good choice. I think Aries are going to finally, recognize, I've got the wherewithal, I've got the talent, I've got the drive. Listen, my father was an Aries. Get the hell out of his way. He always said he was a Taurus because he was right on that doorway. We won't say what birthday because it's not a positively famous day. But he was definitely an Aries. He was 29 degrees, but he was an Aries, and who knows what his ascendant, probably Leo. But anyway, on a dynamic level, I would say we're looking at close to your birthday. We have two areas I'm going to look at here. I would say close to the full moon in Virgo, which will set something off. Now remember, that's Mercury. And it's also a really powered influence to do with Aries. Aries and Virgo is always linked. I have done this 34 years, as I've said, and there's so many Aries and Virgos. Virgo women, Aries men, most of the time. That's not to say that Aries women don't find Virgo men attractive, because Virgo men are attractive. A little bit questionable about how worked up they get, but they are attractive. But anyway, so that's going on. The other thing you're reading in here I want to just discuss for a second. I'll tell you something. There's all this talk about Aries. Well, listen, yeah, Joan Crawford, Betty Davis, we can go on and on and on about Aries wanting to be, or they are, this dynamic. I think in all honesty, one of the things that's really quite fascinating in here is that in your hope-fear position in the reading, you have the star. Now, it could very well be that you opt to take a back seat with this new doorway. I don't think this is full retirement, by the way. I've seen this in some of the readings quite similarly. And the individual I'm reading is of age. Well, I'm at a few years of age. You think I'm going to stop? I don't think so, unless I'm forced. But I think in all honesty, what you want to look at is maybe you don't need to be right out there like some of the, populated, individuals in media. All I'm saying to you is this is there, and you are going to find that your doorway, the doorway that's ahead of you, that's in here, because there is a definite doorway, you're going to find that you're up against a lot of social. Now, remember, we're going to go through social transformation. If people understand history, there's two areas that not a lot of people speak about. One 600 years ago, they speak about the one in the late 18th century, when they talk about the year right after, actually it was probably wavering anyway, because Pluto moves very slowly, with the American Revolution from Britain. Then 1777, bang, Pluto steps in, and then you have the French Revolution, and look what happened. The whole upper echelon were destroyed. They didn't even know how to do the minuet anymore. So, I mean, it was pretty serious, but it enabled the middle classes to rise. So we're going to see a lot of transformation. Let's just hope that doesn't come to that type of severity. But there's a lot going to go on. And we're seeing things. We're seeing, God bless, Queen Margaret of Denmark stepping down for her son, no matter what the politics. So we're seeing a lot of transformation. But as far as outcome is concerned, I believe you are realizing, been there, done that. I'm fantastic at this. I love this. I know what I'm doing, but I want to do that. I very slowly, remember, we've got two energies, the Hangman and the Hermit. These are going on at the moment in your mind. What's happening, events, I'm here, the door. Remember that movie, A Star is Born, with Judy Garland? And she's running through all the stairwells, and she's banging at the door, and she's singing for the guy, and he's like, no, 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 out. And the music was fantastic. I can't remember who the orchestrator, a few friends of mine would know. And then finally the guy says yes, and she's like, oh, no, 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 I'm not going to, I'm not getting on the desk. It was hilarious. But anyway, part of what this story is here is, you got to knock on a lot of doors sometimes in our lives to actually really find, this is now what I'm going to do, because I've learned. Martha Stewart is a fantastic reinventor. She's a businesswoman, she's an inventor, she's creative, artistic, we'll go on and on and on, so is Barbara Streisand. These are the things in your reading, and I'm not totally trying to outline women. What I'm saying here is there's something really, really important to add. And there is hard work involved. To me, for Aries, the big thing that you're going to see, and I know this is in this next week ahead, but it's really interesting that it's this intense. I think Pluto is going to show you the next 6 to 7 years. I think it's going to show us very quickly. We'll carry on. I'm just beginning this on YouTube. So this is going to go on and on and on, and we'll come back to this in a year. We'll talk about it. So please leave your comments at the bottom. And as I said, please subscribe. But as far as Aries, thumbs up. You heard it here first. And I think, in all honesty, you're really moving forward in a really dynamic way. I don't believe things are going to go forward the way you fear. If in fact something does go wrong, or something hasn't worked out the way you thought, and you're sort of in limbo, this hanging in limbo, and this fear of instability, this fear of what could be, try to be in the now. Try to stay in the now as much as possible, and you catch yourself drifting, pull yourself right back. Try not to get too far ahead of yourself, but be really open to what I'm speaking about, because something's around the corner. It's very fast. Remember, you've got your eclipses, late March, April, in your house of relating, and absolutely on your sun sign. So be ready. This is a transformational time for Libra, Aries, and all the cardinals, Cancer, Capricorn. I'll discuss that with them. But in the reading, to me, you still haven't achieved something that I think in a way you're nervous about. And that's where I was getting about having to be the star, the center of, the inspiration, all the other. It's a big responsibility. Success, affluence is a huge responsibility. And we can get into the derogatories, but let's just look at this honestly. So I would say there's something still needed to be done. You're not there yet. I think this is also maybe what we're going to see with these eclipses. So I might do a special as well, recording for all the signs, late March, April, between those eclipses, or Libra, Aries at that time, with the full moon and new moon. We will see. But anyway, it's been a pleasure. This is the first one. Please subscribe. Please, hit the bell icon. I'm going to sign up as well for Patreon. I'm really going to get this going. It's about time. It's been many years. My accountant told me to do this a decade ago. But anyway, I wish you guys all the best. Again, you've heard it here first. Psychic Hunter David Williamson. Pleasure.